But of course, it is now rocking and rolling into this one. And have we got any special utility purchases? We'll have to just take a little look.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 sets of util on the T side, so ex-Direwolves almost certainly have a plan in mind here. Inns has got some retake utility, first flash used for that long control, and that will be gathered by Renegades, so they have that good to go. Now it's up to ex-Direwolves to get this B execute kicked off. You got one back plat, one playing from windows. Can they defend here, Renegades?
And that door smoke about to go up, and it will, so Malta will get the information, spotting over the top, flashbang out, and he will be able to turn. It's a little bit of chaos. There's some blocking in the upper tunnels, but Malta still manages to kick on for a little while longer. Hasn't yet found anything, and Savage will be able to pick one up there, so they will settle with the side. But Hazard's actually managed to take down Alistair here as well, so it's going to settle into that position. 5-on-3 on the retake.
Yeah, Fake comes in from Direwolves, taking their time. They want to force one of the CTs to overextend, but now the bomb goes down and the CTs have to recalibrate themselves for this retake.
One of the toughest sites to retake in the play at the moment. Hats does pick up one more into the 3-on-3. Will be secured, very crispy on the shots, but Sterling feeling the exact same. Now Inns has too many angles to clear. He makes the space, and he does manage to get up, but can't quite clear it as he gets the heat, and APOC will be able to keep his composure to close it. Big round from Sterling, and that's going to be ex-Direwolves walking away from the opening image.
Yeah, they got into that site a little bit more cleanly than you'd expect. Malta emptied his whole clip in towards tunnels, didn't get a single kill, even though some of those shots look pretty decent to me. I'm surprised he wasn't able to pick any of those up. Either way, though, you do get the buy up out of Renegades. They don't want to let this one go. They're going to go straight into their second round buy. Alistair holds on to a little bit of extra cash, just in case he needs to buy that AWP into round number 4. There's that scout duel. Licky actually is the one to find it on towards Alistair. Long control taken as well.
He will be departing nice and early, young Alistair, and now long control looking to be established. Members will fall back to the side. So minimal action really so far, but Direwolves are going to be happy with that control so far. And look it down straight towards the mid doors as well. So ready to walk on through, and he does start to creep.
Yeah, straight into a 1-4. APOC trying to cut the map in half. Finds a player completely unawares towards elevator, and of course this man is switched on. The game sense just so impeccable from the man. Does end up getting cleaned up, but the rest of ex-Direwolves are quite happy with the space that he's created as they start to filter into this A site, but not before taking significant damage. Nade looks good, but doesn't end up connecting.
And not quite deep enough, and unfortunately that does mean that Savage takes an advantage to find Sicko on the way through. Rotation now from Inns around, and does spot out Hazard, but yeah, definitely round going a little bit begging was how low both Savage and Sterling are. However, you know, Direwolves going to be happy with that result there, as they can manage to take these rifles on into the next one. Of course, Renegade's going to be looking at that eco. So a nice start, very consistent from the Direwolves so far, Mitch.
Yeah, doing well for themselves. Just need to make sure they're keeping all these guns up. Not going to be the case, though. In's doing a very nice job. Just prodding and probing, see what he can find on the exit. So he does take a scout out of the hands of Licky, but that's mostly going to be it. Inns at least will be able to hold on to that Galil into the next, can drop a deagle over to one of his teammates, and I think, you know, all things considered, from a force buy, taking 2 guns out of the hands of ex-Direwolves, it's a pretty even result for both squads. And now you're looking at Renegades going into their proper save. They'll have a little bit of firepower thanks to the Galil and the deagle and whatever else they choose to invest in. But you'd still be backing Direwolves to get this 3-0 start and get the momentum rolling nice and early on Dust2.
Yep, just the rest period here. So hoping to take advantage of that Galil. So any real changes? Yep, a stack up long. Trying to get that early information. Ends with the flash, and they are ready to rock and roll. So looks like some action will be secured, but Hats is gonna hold that one down rather. Hats does get the nade in, so there is a little trade out, but you've got to be happy with that start.
Inns over towards CT. Malta's made the mid-round push and found a bit of space in upper tunnels, so there are still some opportunities for Renegades to take a few more guns out of the hands of ex-Direwolves and hamstring their economy a little bit.
Another one down. Inns just watching overall. Savage does tap up a little, but more members up on the site. He's going to fall his way back in down towards CT. Still wanting to, you know, try and hold on to this one. Taking the Kevlar into the next round would be a good result, but also taking away any additional weapons. Sterling just holding firmly, keeping him in place, and the bomb will get planted.
Yeah, it's good composure. Taking a lot of HP off of Inns. He's still worried about the backstab coming in from APOC, but I dare say ex-Direwolves have got this one locked down. Too many strong angles, too many players on very, very high HP totals. And Inns actually wrapping back towards the most injured player, but I dare say on an angle like this, backing APOC over it just a little bit. So I think that's just a side effect of unfortunately holding an angle for a little bit too long, maybe eyes on the radar. That's actually going to give an AK over to Inns as well as a little bit of extra utility. So he's going to be quite happy to save all of that over. And maybe look with the util that he's got here. How much does he end that round with? About 2,500. Yeah, he can actually drop an AWP over to a teammate. So you could get a double AWP straight into that first gun round without foregoing too much utility.
Yeah, very, very nice start in that way. But obviously the reinvestment comes back through. Still a couple of members with some packing for the ex-Direwolves. But this is where the excitement will really start to come out through for the opener of Dust2 here. The Renegades have what it takes to fire back in this first buy round.
We'll see. Double AWP not being the choice. Inns is just going to pocket that extra 4,200 for a later date. Maybe a hero rifle or a hero AWP later on. It's only the single AWP here, but it's a solid buy for Renegades. Money did not really build too much for ex-Direwolves. There was significant damage taken. Inns just on this angle. Trying to play whack-a-mole, but that is a gorgeous double peek from ex-Direwolves, just both popping up from Xbox and taking that catwalk control as well. So this is a pretty advantageous position for the T side.
It's the little things, peaks like that, making all the matter in the rounds. The Sicko has to try and creep around this smoke, looking like they're still going to be heading up towards the short position though for now. Nade does pepper hats, but still playing it slow. Rowdy to explode onto this A side.
And the execute comes in. A lot of space being given by Renegades, looking to try to find some picks. Hazza trying to use that one way to isolate a duel onto a player rotating up ramp or playing towards elevator, but after all said and done, it's not a commitment onto A. Ex-Direwolves all filtering straight through mid doors, trying to cut the map in half with the mid to B smoke and trying to isolate this duel onto Malta.
Malta's got such a big amount of work on his plate right now. Does open up onto the first Alistair. Actually manages to find one through to the smoke as well. Certainly not a horrible result. It's a 2-on-2. Very healthy. Hats gets his way through as well. And now it's all on the Savage. 6 HP, 1v2.
Yeah, that was a lot less composed than we saw yesterday from ex-Direwolves. A little bit of a spaghetti trying to get straight through middle after the initial A site hit. Didn't go to plan. And with only 6 HP on Savage here, you really wouldn't be backing him to close this round down. No head armor on either one of these CTs, and he does actually isolate Alistair. It's all on Hats. He's got no kit, so if enough time is bought here by the C, never mind. Savage is just going to clutch it for Direwolves. That is gorgeous.
How's he bloody done that? That was really, really clean from Savage, just playing it so well with the time. Both the members going through the doors together, but still weren't able to put it back. You know, you talk about that spaghetti, it's fallen out of their pockets, but Savage has just dug it straight back in.
He just slurped it all up, mate.
That's it.
Jesus, he's a hungry boy. Just getting
nice
all the frags for
carbonara.
himself. Oh, carbonara. I could go for a carbonara, I'm going to be honest. Either way, though, Hero AWP purchase for Inns. So that's what that extra 4K went towards. And Deagles for the rest of the lads. I mean, that was a round that Direwolves were favoured to win. They got an excellent first pick on Catwalk. And then they went for that mid-round straight through mid-doors, which is where things started to fall apart. And then Renegades got into that 2-on-1. I thought they were going to close it. And then Savage comes through. He wins that 2-on-1, which is a pretty big impact play. And it's really going to be a bit of a nerve settler in a big game like this to see him already clutch out a round like that.
Yeah, it's a hype-up moment. You know, the guys are all going to be getting around him, super excited for such a solidly won round there off the back of an individual performance. So a little bit of a different change for ex-Direwolves. Just happy to walk out long, nice and slow. But according to the slow pace, it looks like Malta's actually crept up top mid, Mitch.
All posted on the line. That's a rare miss from Sterling. Yeah, the flank is coming in from Malta. We'll see if he's found a good timing here. Knife out for Licky. I dare say that's a freebie. Savage was watching it. But this has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for ex-Direwolves. They're now caught between a rock and a hard place. Still enough smokes for the cross, but now they've got to get into the site.
The information wasn't there. There was a light rotate. The Sicko does manage to pick up one through the smoke. That Molotov going to make it really uncomfortable for Hats, and Hazza picks up another. So 3-on-3, but Hazza up on the site. Already with 3 so far in this round, slowing down the pace now. Malta spots out ahead. It is nice and close, but Sterling's going to be ready for it. Hazza can take a bow in that round with the 4K. Only really an eco, but they still do damage the spirits there of the Renegades. And ultimately with 5 pushing forward on this T side of Dust2, starting off so strong.
Yeah, 5-0. Bit of an economy to boot. Nothing crazy because a lot of these rounds have come down to XVXs or only a couple of players up for ex-Direwolves. So the door's still open for Renegades to get back into things. As I'm going to get a little bit of a server issue here. So we'll keep you guys updated. But I'm really looking at this buy from Renegades to try to go in. If they're able to take 2 gun rounds back-to-back damage, they can potentially break that economy and get straight back into the swing of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a little bit of a pace change up. And you wonder sort of how long it'll actually run for before they get there. But we'll go to break, guys. And as soon as we fix this one, we'll be back.
Could go back to yesterday, underneath the sheets, keep on replaying the night with you, underneath the sheets.
You ask if we could talk, but then say nothing. Maybe you just had too much to say. 'Cause when you call me up, you just want one thing. And maybe in the end you'll get your way. But I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show ya I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know. We just need to stop and take a moment to slow things down, work this out. I got your love on top, we're in the moment, and maybe that's what we're about. Tell me what you want me to be, baby. I promise I can be the one you're craving. 'Cause I think that I know what you've been chasing. And girl, I'm sick of waiting. I'll be yours for the taking. But I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show you I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know your baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna show you I'd do anything for you, girl. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know, oh, 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 yeah, if we should take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. I just wanna know, I just wanna show you I'd do anything for you, girl.
you got to do. If you don't, everything you do all come back on you. Let me tell you, that's not alright. It's a terrible feeling, makes it hard to sleep at night. Never play a girl with your lies. She knows everything you do will come to light. Dishonesty will never do you right. You'll never see it through a blinded eye. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Keeps coming back around. Karma, karma. Let me tell you, the truth will set you free. No clever alibis will you ever have to bleed. Let me tell you, that's where you wanna be. It's the only place you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have returned and we thank all of you for your patience here. When we can't see the game, there's not really a whole lot to cast. So someone's turned the toaster on, but it is turned off now. The Vegemite has been spread and we're good to go back in here. 6-0 is the ex-Direwolves right now in this position. They are having an incredibly solid run and Renegades haven't had an answer so much yet for the Mitch.
No, that is such a great start on the T side. You absolutely love to see it. Their economy is looking pretty good. As for Renegades, we got an interesting state of affairs. A couple pistolas. We got an AWP, which was probably saved over from the previous. So they've got potential to do damage in a round like this. This is the kind of buy that you've seen Renegades make work many a time. Now we'll see if they've got it in the tank this time.
Looking to go for those duels, play around a big sicko. That wildfire in the back. So just really needing to change that pace back, try and drag their way forward. You know, something similar to obviously the start that ex-Direwolves had on Vertigo. But ultimately, Order yesterday were able to claw back. So I wonder if Renegades will be able to do the same. But it's a very, very quick exit out long. And that's going to be Licky getting the opening frag. A second as well. APOC with one more in the round. It's basically almost done. In's trying to make something work here. A couple of spray shots. That operator, the Hawk rather, rotating around. He does swing out, but I'm pretty sure that ex-Direwolves are just happy to stop the pacing from here.
Yeah, they've got a pretty significant advantage. I'm sure they're well aware that an AWP has been saved over and they don't want to give extra opportunities, extra angles. They're being very careful about rounding the corner here. Inns knows the longer this goes on, the more potential that is that they're not coming towards A. So he wants to try to go up a little bit closer, maybe have some trade potential with the AWP on the angle.
Good shot. Nice and clean. And that could be almost clean, but in the end, Inns does manage to get away with one. Hazard goes down, Sterling to close, and they just continue this hot streak. 7-0 is such a dominant and commanding position to be in for ex-Direwolves. Obviously, this situation, this match, there's so much to play for. The grand final spot, you know, not too far away at all. So an impeccable start to be relatively untouched, Mitch, is just such a big play to being had here. Yeah.
Surely Renegades get rolling pretty soon, though. They've got the double AWP. Money on the T side's fantastic, though, so it's going to take quite a few rounds subsequently for Renegades to make a run of things. Initial duel going the way of Renegades. They've got that man advantage. Good little positioned in towards close mid doors there. 2 minutes set up a bit longer Inns. It's going to cement that. So where do ex-Direwolves go on this 4-on-5? They're still pretty split up with the 1-2-1 kind of setup. Yet to take catwalk.
At least there is that man advantage for the time being. Sterling trying to get cheeky. Not going to go through the doors though. Re-smoke and time to be found as Sicko does get peppered, but he's potentially looking to reaggress here, Malta. Just holding on, still nothing spotted, but still the pacing relatively slow. Minute left.
Yeah, ex-Direwolves haven't done a whole lot of anything really. They have vacated the extremities of the map. A handful of nades to work with, only 2 smokes, handful of mollies and some flashes, so they're going to try to get this done the old-fashioned way, starting to probe out middle, trying to find this play up towards CT side. There's the double mid to B smoke, so the full wall of smoke across the side, but it's not going to stop Savage from going down. And In's just continually spraying people straight through this smoke on the cross. They've lost APOC in uppers as well. And this round has just gone by the wayside for ex-Direwolves. They really haven't gotten too much done.
Yeah, what a complete change. Almost nothing. Sterling can't get away with one. Hats is going to find him. So that's the round that Renegades very, very much needed to get their way back into this one. But yeah, I guess you're exactly right in the sense that ex-Direwolves didn't take too much control at all, and ultimately Renegades just kind of walked over them in that position. But then again, it's only the one round. Still plenty more of work for them to do.
Well, it's a bit of an economy settler for Renegades, though. Money's looking much more solid across the board after a convincing round win like that. That chips through a fair bit of ex-Direwolves money in the meantime. Long control being attempted rather than just a pick with the AWP, but good flash coverage as well as the Molotov to secure that hut control. And you're not going to see anybody lose a player too quickly on in this round. Very passive stuff from the T side. Really not in a rush to go anywhere. Both of the AWPs on the extremities rather than towards middle this time. So definitely want to be keeping an eye on both of these lurkers on the extremities for the T side, because if they put a toe out of line, that's going to be an early man advantage for the CTs.
Yeah, such a deep line held by Sicko. Alistair in the exact same position. Allows the rest of the members to kind of mope around and do whatever they choose. But still, the time is ticking. Direwolves nice and slow, not looking to contest either of those angles and sort of refocus their way back towards mid and short.
Yeah, both of the HE nades still ready here for hats as well as ins, so a fair bit more chip damage to be achieved. And you start to see that Molotov with the HE nade combo come in. That's a fair bit of chip damage. M4 is definitely going to be thankful for that if they're landing some nice little headshots. It's got the rifle set up towards the site, so no AWP for the cross here.
APOC crept out. Malta definitely smells onto something. Hats is going to reposition towards Goose here, so the aggression does start to at least flood through. Hats opening up strong with the one. Ins now looking to pick one up. Not quite able to connect with the second, but Ins will be able to. Licky has taken some extra damage, so Hats going down and has her up on top. So straight back in towards this 3-on-3, but APOC actually does manage to get the jump on the Malta. And now Alistair is up very, very close. Mitch, that smoke just about to dissipate, but oh my word, Hazza, this guy is sharp as anything, and it's Sicko left alone in a 1 versus 3. What do you even do here? Does have the kit, does have the utility, but man, might just be worth a save. APOC will be spotted, but missed.
APOC just doing such a great job, cutting the map in half, acting as the contingency, just being a thorn in the side of Renegades. On this team side. He just goes straight through the Molotov. This has all been heard by Sicko. I dare say he's going to bide his time, though. Will there be a flash in from the teammate? No, the only one with any flashes is Hazza, and he's on the other side of the map trying to save that AWP over. I'm going to hunt down Sicko, so AWP won't be retained, and they're going to have a tough time going straight back into the double AWP with the state of the money. Only one player sitting above 6k there for Renegades, so you have to go back to the singular AWP, or someone's going to have to go light on utility, I'd imagine. But even just after one round, ex-Direwolves straight back into the swing of things. They're having a very impressive T side here.
Just floundering a little bit. Oh, Renegades. And I'm going to get it right, but, you know, again, the man to be watching, the way he's been playing it. You mentioned, obviously, earlier on how well APOC has done, sort of providing that additional control for his team. That Molotov is going to put a bit of a damper on Savage's HP. Does manage to get away with one, but Sterling's good for the trade. So it's back to the equalizer, 4v4.
Yep. This is where APOC's able to activate a little bit. Just a bit of a standoff towards mid doors there. Sicko can hear a lot of footsteps here. Flashbang puts APOC into the line, but it goes a little bit too deep. And they're not able to trade Sicko out until Licky comes in there, but he's able to go 1 for 2, which gives Renegades the man advantage. What do ex-Direwolves do here? Still plenty of time on the clock. They're slowing things down. They're checking for those mid pushes, whether it be top mid or bottom mid, but it's a bad case of bad timing for Sterling there.
Gets away with it, but Hats has already picked up another onto Licky. So very important for Renegades to hold on to all of these members, keep them alive for as long as possible. And look, gotta say, Mitch, if anyone was looking to win your 1v3, it'd be Sterling. He's pulled off some impeccable things, but In's holding a very tight line, so he's going to make it easy. So holding on to that AWP still, that'll go back into the hands of Alistair, but Renegades walk away with another. So they are still waking up. It's a little bit groggy, but slowly but surely. However, obviously, with that position, you know, 8 rounds, that's already the half one out for the ex-Direwolves.
Yep. Still a few more rounds to play with, though. And here's a timeout for ex-Direwolves, so going to have a little bit of a chat about how the last few rounds are going. Honestly, they've had a pretty high success rate on this T side so far, so it's not like they have a crazy amount to chat about. More, I would imagine, just a sort of getting everybody on the same page kind of pause and just have a bit of a chat about how the game's going, make sure that they're staying on top, because Renegades is not the kind of team you can afford to give extra space to.
And Hazard sitting atop that scoreboard, 13-6. It's had some really, really sharp rounds so far, and the rest of the team, no one really lagging behind by any means. So it's just been super solid, sound fundamentals, and looking for the key of consistency. So this round's obviously going to be quite a tell. Money dropping down for ex-Direwolves. Can Renegades capitalize?
We'll see. You're completely right. This is the opportunity for Renegades to crack back into the half, because the money, as you did mention, is getting a little shakier for our T friends. Mob control established by the CTs, and meanwhile, ex-Direwolves going towards Catwalk. Alistair looking to contest. The flash is not quite well timed. And that means Hazard's going to lose his life, and he's been the main man on the T side so far, so ex-Direwolves are going to have to get it done without him.
Well-needed pick, and Alistair looking like he's loosening up a little bit more. That aggressive play straight down short off the back of the boost. Got to be happy with that. Still, though, Direwolves looking to make their way up. Will be a flash to send them off the line. They're actually going to go for the cheeky little run boost across. The information gathered. But that's now sending Alistair off the short line, and he's going to be spotted out the box as well. But the Molotov, it's pretty good here, Mitch. Alistair picks up another for his troubles as well. He's going to be looking to get up close. No scope, not quite. He's going to go for another short line. Looking for it. Legs up. Sterling can't quite find any more, but Inns has picked up another in the process, and the Direwolves, they're dropping down one by one. APOC to at least equalize slightly. Still the man disadvantaged, though. Double Molotov down to try and flush out Inns. That bomb still down back towards short. And now they'll settle down a little bit. Malta not too far behind.
Yeah, just trying to jump spot here. Does take the duel straight up. Savage needs to retrieve that C4 and get it planted on the site, but both of the CTs giving him a little bit of a tough time trying to cross back towards that one. In swaps his Fabus out for the AWP. Savage picks up the bomb, but he's got no time to go back towards B. But good news for him is that Renegades actually giving him a little bit of space. He's already completed 1v2, and they're giving him the respect in that regard as In starts to wrap back towards short.
If he can isolate this one. But just before we can even start to talk about it, it has been closed, the door on it, by Hats. So certainly not the cleanest, but certainly an exciting one. Alistair dancing around, Kukli style, as Renegades walk away with their third. So that's the stabilization. Double AWP still will be maintained. And obviously with that money dropping down, Mitch, Camp ex-Direwolves probably looking for a cheeky little eco.
Yeah, probably a half buy in the works here. And look to put the pieces back together in the next. 2 AWPs being retained means that, honestly, the CT side might be susceptible in some niche scenarios to some of these quicker plays with the pistols, perhaps. Oh, APOC's actually buying up. So we get the full investment here for ex-Direwolves. They know that the money's a little shaky on the CT side, and they're going to go for something a little bit unorthodox. This might be quite hard to read from the CT side. You're probably expecting an eco here, but a Mac 10 buy might catch you off guard a little.
And that was the missed mid-smoke as well, so information could have potentially been gathered. In's not super keen to try and play with fire. Hazard will get that short smoke down, not quite. But as you mentioned, they're not going to be ready for this one. Potential change of pace could catch them off towards B.
Few little tells in there that there might be a play towards Catwalk, or that there's some kind of a default dance going on. Triple smoke comes out from ex-Direwolves as they look to set up for this B play, but this is looking pretty promising. I'm looking at the double plat setup. You got the AWP on the line. The T's going to be able to make it in here.
Sicko does miss the opening shot. Molotov is there, quickly traded out by Savage, but now the Molotov's come through, and Savage aim through and throughout. And that's going to be able to get the job done, and that's going to be the site taken. But look at, again, the position from Licky. Still trying to creep his way up short. Might catch off Alistair, but no, he's ready for it. Not this time. Inns has been legged up in the process, though, as we settle in this 3-on-3.
Well, Sterling's got a dance on an AWP, though, and this man does work in the post plants. Bit of a missed door smoke, and the CT is going to speed things up now, Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready to rock and roll. That flash is going to be going over the top as they are ready for it. Savage already on with 2. That's going to be a third picked up. APOC does isolate and dropping down hats now. Ins all on his lonesome. Might just have to hightail it out of there. But what a brilliant start. APOC's out for blood. And he's going to be trying to find something here for sure. Ins has to go for the no-scope. The leg shot. No, it's not going to be enough. And APOC to just rub salt in the wound at that point. He's picked up the secondary ult, but do they even need it? Regardless, they're going to make something happen with it. But my God, Mitch, they have gotten away with murder there, the ex-Direwolves.
I mean, it's a hard one to read. You looked at their money starting off that round. You only had one player with enough for 8k armor. The rest of them sitting, 2 to 3k in the bank. If you're the Renegades, you're probably thinking, well, we're heading into an anti-eco, maybe a little bit of an investment in some of the players. And then you get that from ex-Direwolves, a beautiful call that completely catches Renegades off guard. Some beautiful shots hit by Savage. He's kind of been the impact player here so far for ex-Direwolves. That's a nice dink from Alistair. But it is only just the pistols here for Renegades, as that force spike call does end up breaking their money.
What a wild turn of events. It ends, capitalizing, taking advantage of that lesser buy and finding his way all the way through tunnels in the backyard. So that's going to allow the rest of the side of the Renegades to stack up for this future aggression. So potentially with that dink on the Savage, they might be able to make something work.
Yeah, you get an elevator boost in here. Sicko's going to get back up onto the site. 3 smokes on the cross, some spam from the USPers, but it's looking pretty good. Molotov's up there. I'm going to clean out some of those close angles. Alistair's able to find one pick. For the most part, I mean, the utility usage is just making this look pretty convincing from ex-Direwolves.
Taps over towards short. He's going to be spotted. Will actually be Malta. A bit of further damage peppered away, but APOC to close. So 3 for him. Just checking up once again on these scores. Yeah, Hazard, APOC, and Savage all really just doing big things. But I got to admit, not a single member of ex-Direwolves seems to be off tonight at all. Everyone is firing on all cylinders. And that is going to be another pause taken as well by the Renegades. And, a well-needed one. They're edging out the rest of the half here. 10 rounds, double digits so early on in this map and in this series, Mitch. It just means a commanding position for the ex-Direwolves. And, yeah, Renegades, despite, we know they're kind of common to have some slow starts, they don't look real convincing in this map just yet.
No, definitely not. They're kind of getting slapped around a little bit. And this was the same case for ex-Direwolves yesterday. There wasn't a single player on their squad that was quiet at all. It was an across-the-board team performance. All of them fragging, all of them contributing up against Order. And it's no different today. Every single one of them has had their highlight moments. And now you go into the buy for Renegades where the utility's not looking great. You've had to go down to an MP9. Nades are lacking. You've got a glass cannon AWP. It's really not the dream buy on the CT side here. So ex-Direwolves are potentially staring down a easier gun round to win. And then another economic reset. We could be looking at a 12-3 here. Late flashes with a bit of a pace change straight out of ex-Direwolves, and it's worked perfectly. The calling and the reads from this team-side team right now have just been so on point throughout this whole game.
And In's such a big task, but he's going to be punished by Sterling. And that's basically the round done and dusted already, and that buy into the next round is going to be pretty abysmal, unfortunately, for the side of Renegades. So ex-Direwolves, I guess, already sort of collecting themselves an 11th round, only 20 seconds in. And off the back of that, it's going to be, an awkward one into the final round of the half. So Renegades have certainly got some heavy lifting to do into the next half if they want any sort of chance at forcing this one through. But, to sell the series so far is already a little bit too far-fetched, I guess you could say. Next map of Inferno. Renegades obviously a powerhouse on that one as well. But, man, yeah, if ex-Direwolves continue this form, they don't shy away on either of the other maps in this series at all.
Yeah, definitely not. Inferno's a peculiar one. I mean, it's one where Renegades have been rock solid for the longest time, whereas ex-Direwolves, the core of this team has always been a bit hit or miss on Inferno. I mean, I don't know what their current status is on it, but at least going back to some of those other tournaments, they would always kind of stomp teams or kind of get stomped on that map. So we'll see what they have in the tank today. So it looks like he's going to be able to hold on to that MP9, but that's a bit of a participation medal at this point because, like I said, this is a dream start, really. And, okay, one of the last times we're going to see the doors cross on Dust2. May as well send her home the right way, right?
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of disrespect, rubbing the salt in the wounds, but it always does make for an exciting play. So how many Dak-Daks we got? 3. Just looking to hold that across immediately. There's the tap straight away. Malta, as well as his participation award. He does get tagged up a little bit. Alistair is going to be going down, and I don't even know sort of how to feel about this one so far. There has just been not many moments. You know, Renegades had that, one super clean round. Now Sterling to pick up ins. They haven't even left the spawn yet, Mitz, and they've pretty much already walked away with it.
Yeah, turns out that doors cross pretty cool. Pretty good for the T side. Oh boy. I mean, what can you even say? Ex-Direwolves just been a class of their own so far in this series, and it's no different. It's looking like it's going to be a 12-3 half, which means if they get pistol CT side, this game is probably done. Pistol and anti-eco. This is going to be a grind for Renegades, but we know that the core of this roster has come back in their veins.
You're not a team that gets super shaken in these early positions. Licky able to collect that one. So another consolation prize, an AK. Still some utility to work with, but Savage is still top mid, mate. Hasn't even left the spawn. But we are going to take a quick break, guys, as we ready up for the next half. We'll see you soon.
Finding strength just to move on, searching for a new point. Now it's time for a change. Together with you, I can feel what's real and sober. Now it's time for you and I. Just listen to what's in you. So I'm calling you to let me through, and I reach for you. This time I won't let go. This time I won't let go. This time I won't let go. Together with you, it's alright. Now it's time for you and I. We will make it through the night. Nothing can stop us now. So I'm calling you. So I'm calling you to let me through, and I reach for you. This time I won't let go. So I'm calling you to let me through, and I reach for you. This time I won't let This time I won't let go. This time I won't let go. Together with you, it's
And we are back once more with the opening map here. And if you guys do kind of rub your eyes again, you'll see that that scoreline is indeed very real. Ex-Direwolves have had a dominant start over the Renegades here, 12-3. And Mitch, what are Renegades even going to do here if they're unable to pick up that pistol round?
I don't know, mate. I mean, go for the second pistol round, right? The second round force is always on the cards. You never know. Current state of this game's economy, that might actually be better for them in the long run. But they don't have a whole lot of room to work with. What a dominating T side from ex-Direwolves, just really did not slip up whatsoever. Renegades a bit timid in towards this first round, really taking their time to work the map a little. We'll see what their late round play is going to be. They've only got that one set of utility on ins, so they're limited in that regard.
Big lean towards B. Super interesting. Just having Licky kind of spotting that one over. Happy to have old mate Savage just kind of lay weight up towards A, but short line smoke will go up. Malta tries to get into position, but still yet to sort of make any real decisions as they start to walk up short.
That's the only 2 grenades that Renegades had access to, so they got to get the rest of this done the old-fashioned way. But good news for them is they don't really have a whole lot of use for blocking off angles when there's not going to be a single person shooting at them. All of the CTs setting up for this retake.
Ooh. I like this position. Sterling is going to clear it, however. Punish to Inns for being the cheeky boy inside the lower dark, and now they walk up short. It's going to be an all-out brawl here. Alistair is lurking his way back into the bedroom, but unfortunately, nobody's sleeping. This entire ex-Direwolves roster is awake, and Hazza, he will be tagged up on the dink on the line across, but now Haz, a little bit of aim training here, picks up one, but Malta, good for the trade. Sicko also there, 3-on-1 now. And at the end of the day, despite Inns going down in the early commandment, it actually will be the Renegades walking away relatively unscathed. 2 go down, 3 alive, and that's a 4th round here for the Renegades.
Yeah, Alistair being that contingency plan, coming straight through from short on the flank. Not sure he would have even been needed the amount of Glock shots that were being connected on the cross. But here is that second round force coming out. This is the bread and butter of ex-Direwolves ever since going back to that Avant core. The APOC, Sterling and Hazard boys never, I guess, stray away from going for that second round buy, from putting the Deagle armor to work. Hasn't started well for them. Pick found by the superior weaponry of the AK, peeking out long there.
The big dunk, so at least getting awarded with something. That AK now swapped over to the hands of Inns. Savage still trying to look a little further, but a bit of a stalemate over towards that long position. Happy to just leave Savage in position and send the rest of the team members packing. I don't think APOC did spot anything over the top of that mid-smoke, but Renegades starting to at least power their way down now.
Yeah, still pretty spread out in that default kind of formation. Now that we head towards the minute mark, they are starting to make some moves. Catwalk control taken. Sterling sitting up on that Guardian angle. Trying to find a nice little timing to pick off one of these Ts, but he has let that one go by the wayside, and now it does seem like Renegade's getting ready to go for some kind of catwalk execute. Nicely timed flash, does catch APOC off guard, and now they're kind of sending it in here. Nice little one-way from Sterling that he's trying to abuse.
Ooh. Is he going to find anything off the back of it? They've slowed it down a whole lot, but now the information is gathered. So unfortunately, no big plays to come out from Sterling, and they've done this very cleanly, Renegades, in the end. 5 alive, holding onto that AK and the double Galil. They're going to be able to put those MAC-10s to good work into this coming round. So at least this is not going to be a steamroll, right? The gap starts to close, still 7, so plenty of hard work to be done in the office for Renegades. But, you know, I'm sure Kingfisher has got that strat book out and it's ready to start to be pumped.
Yeah, slow start for Renegades. Like you said, it's not out of the ordinary. Now they're going into the anti-eco. You're going to get the counter flash in from Hazard.
Oh! Is it a farm? Yes, it is. But maybe the ace? Just for good Alistair on his ecos? No, it's been stolen by Inns. Fair enough. But just a quick pistol round, trying to make something happen down long with that flash, but playing anti, ready for it. And now we actually get the action as the purchase will come through.
Well, you're going to have somewhat of a bonus here with the weaponry that Renegades had access to. They've gone straight into the AWP though, so not messing around too much in that regard. But one MAC-10 kept over. Gillil's going to be kept over. Only the singular AWP in the first gun round here for ex-Direwolves. Nicely timed flash, pushes Sterling off the angle, and they're going to forfeit that long control.
Look how quickly they try and force the narrative as well. But Sterling does manage to get away. They're happy to sit with that control for the time being. Maybe send a happy camper into the pit. Alistair, a little bit uncharacteristic there, that miss, as APOC tries to get cheeky, but clearly they've done their research. Ready to know that a rogue man is going to try to push his way into lowers, but that will not happen for the time being. And still the 5 versus 5 as they repoise themselves towards upper tunnels.
They got their work cut out for them, though. You've still got a lot of utility towards this B site. Hazard's holding on to that smoke. You got APOC with a full belt of util. In general, actually, ex-Direwolves not throwing too much utility after losing that long control. They are holding on to a lot of it. So Renegades seems like their go-to is to smoke the cross, try to pull some rotations across, and then walk into upper tunnel late. That's a nicely timed shot through the smoke from Sterling, though.
But look at that rotate that's been pulled, Mitch, straight away. They're out towards B. Hazard, he's going to be punished by the Galil of Malta. So they do get some form of an equalizer. Hat's still ready to lay waste as he does creep out into this position towards A. And he does get spotted by Sterling at the end, and he's going to be punished as well. So all of this fake and the bait and switch has not actually paid off. Sicko tries to make something happen, but it's down to a 2-on-4. And despite B being a very hard side to pick, Licky's already up on the flank, and Direwolves, they put this to absolute perfection. How does Sicko go inside the smoke, able to find one, but Licky now runs out of bullets, but so is Sicko. Only has the Glock to try and put to good use, but he will be taken down. And Direwolves were ready for everything that was thrown, even with the fake coming out.
I was not so much ready for it as there was a bit of spaghetti in that round. Let's be real. I mean, Hazard, I think he probably mops up a little bit more there if he waits for the counter flash to come in from mid. Like APOC threw that one for him, but I think just trying to get a little bit too much out of that as that anchor player. He was locking it down so well yesterday. Maybe he was feeling the confidence, but Renegades punished for that a little bit. Outside of that, though, I mean, ex-Direwolves were rock solid on that one. Sterling locking down A. I think a bit of a miss-smoke on the doors gives a little bit of room for that bomb to be picked on the cross, and things got a little bit awkward. After all said and done, though, we got the double AWP into this round for ex-Direwolves, that they picked one of those up off of the corpse of Alistair or Sicko, I believe.
So Sicko sent to go hunting. Nothing out long as of yet. The bomb will be rejoining as they do wait outside that long position. Savage, obviously the man up close. He's been doing some really, really good work in controlling the pace of this position. And happy to leave Sterling to support him with the AWP from Car.
Yeah, pretty standard kind of setup out of ex-Direwolves. AWP kind of floating between long and Car to cover catwalk. One player sort of leaning for the mid to B. Secondary AWP is aggressing toward upper, but the dribble smoke does push him off the line. So Malta creating pressure, keeping these two players on the B site for the time being, while the rest of Renegades make their way towards catwalk.
So putting the brakes on, but now that utility to take a little bit of further control will come out from the Renegades. So that will send some information towards the ex-Direwolves to reposition accordingly.
Yeah, prog smoke comes out. Hat's looking to drop into CT here, go for a bit of an alternative entry path. He's actually accompanied by Sicko.
No flash out long just yet, so yet to establish. They are ready for it though now, but so is Sterling, and Licky will be able to actually get the jump here onto Sicko. Try to push towards that CT position. Another one picked up by Hat's second, but now traded out accordingly. These AWPs doing bits here for the ex-Direwolves. Once again, from the disadvantaged position, Inns tries to take matters into his own hands. They've announced Malta on the flank, and he's so far away from the bomb. I think that could very well be the round here. It is planted for short. Still can pick up the pace, but the Molotov to create the space, and there's no smoke. There's nothing that really Malta can do. He tries to get aggressive inside the flames, but unfortunately, Dragon Force will not play as he will not carry on. Savage picks up the round. Ex-Direwolves 2 away from victory.
Another impeccable retake. Just can't fault them. Sterling was just so calm and composed over towards long there. Held the line for so long for those players who entered towards ramp, towards elevator to come around the corner, even turned from the flash perfectly. Renegades just weren't able to create the space they were looking for on that execute, and they kind of got caught in between a rock and a hard place, just all in empty space. No solid post-plant positionings, even after they got that bomb planted for catwalk. It kind of felt like they were getting collapsed from all sides. Now you head into this next round. I mean, there's no other way to paint it. It's 14-6 here for ex-Direwolves. Both teams' economies looking a little bit shaky. So in one regard, if Renegades can win this next gun round, they can break the CT economy for the, foreseeable future, next couple of rounds. But when you've got this much of a lead, that's where the loss bonus is going to be more than enough to carry you through, especially in the form that ex-Direwolves are showing here. There's no doubt in my mind that they're closing out Dust2.
And that's very much been the discussion, hasn't it? It's like, it could happen. It could be there, but Ex-Direwolves have just seemed to sort of have an answer at every single moment where there might be an opportunity for Renegades to drag it back, but it just hasn't been happening. APOC does get legged up on early, so there is some early tickle damage to come through, but now the boost into lower tunnels. Hats is looking to spot it out, and with a cheeky little fakeroo, get the info, gets the leg shot, and Malta's actually tagged up as well, so that's a great start to recover some damage for ex-Direwolves.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, though, just a shift walk out long. Renegades well aware that ex-Direwolves weren't throwing too much utility to control that part of the map. And in general, especially in their game yesterday against Order, ex-Direwolves were more sort of leaning towards that cat control and forfeiting long. And actually, at the moment, they don't really have control of either. They're kind of in no man's land right now, so they need to be careful about the way they're playing this one out. Sterling going to drop a smoke to try to create some space for him to get to sight. And In's just going to go, great, now I can cross.
Thanks for that. Don't even have to use anything else from the rest of the team. So Inns does make his way around in the reposition. APOC, though, taking him very, very low. Lucky to be alive here in this position. Licky also ready for Hats onto the other side. Fighting that's coming in, but they're so ready for it here. Savage and Licky managing to take it down and putting their advantage forward. 30 seconds left. They've got to start to make something happen, but the site has been at least given to Renegades somewhat. APOC does miss. It's still alive as well.
Yeah, four-man retake from the CT. Straight up catwalk. Bomb hasn't even gone onto the floor yet. It's getting planted for platform at the moment, but now the CT's flashing in and just going straight in for this retake.
All business in this round as they do start to mosey on up. At least there will be denial. Alistair, a little bit out of character, does miss an additional shot, but he ultimately does go down to the hand of APOC, and once again, it's all in a Malta, and Savage is ready for it. That's going to be map point for ex-Direwolves so early on. It has just been a dominant force through and through. No questions about who is looking to be the victor in this map at all. So no chance for the economy reset and just a continual march forward towards victory for ex-Direwolves.
A lost bonus and bomb plant does make this T-side buy look a little better than I expected for Renegades. At least they can go for AKs and armor, a couple of grenades, go down to the Galil for a little bit of extra util. So definitely a workable buy, and with that last round coming down to 2 players alive, this is still a reset potential. So Renegades potentially playing for 2 here. No default business this time around. Does really seem like they're keen to get it kicked off towards B.
Yeah, no more slowing down at all. They do reposition slightly, so looking like they ultimately will go for that mid to B split. But once again, you know, with all the map control that ex-Direwolves have picked up once more, Hazza looks like he's almost even ready to be flashed in as well if required.
Oh, there's that prog utility towards Catwalk. Trying to sow some seeds of doubt in the mind of ex-Direwolves that maybe this is a play towards Catwalk. And actually, they have pulled APOC over towards middle, so it's just Hazza on this angle. There is a timing here for Renegades to hit.
And that will be now the timing all through Hazard, ready up towards the car, gets the opening here. It will be denied and traded accordingly. APOC, though, same sort of business as Malta finds another back. Sterling still ready for that cheeky lurk out from Inns. And, you know, once again, I feel like a broken record at this point in time. ex-Direwolves have the man advantage on this retake.
Yeah, going to be pretty hard to get back into this one. Malta definitely going to have to stand strong as the player closest to tunnels, because that's where all the CTs are coming from, Mitch.
So a bit of a gamble, but surely in a position to pay off as they are ready to rock and roll through. Only the one flash from Alistair. It is going to go over from Malta against the early pick, but now he should have some of that information. Alistair holding a very aggressive line, but he's not going to be ready for the second member in Sterling. Do you know what that is, Mitch? That is a victory going the way in map number 1. 16-6 feels like something that I would have never been saying in a matchup like this, but that is incredible dominance to come out from the ex-Direwolves. We'll see you back